Precious Metal Summit 2019 here in Zurich. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And it's late afternoon at day 2. And now we have Elim Mining here, a private company, still private, hopefully IPOing next year. And John Antwi, the CEO, will give us an insight into his company. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to have you here. Thanks for taking the time. Private company, not yet listed,
not yet listed,
probably for a reason. But you want to work. You want to first do some work, of course, on your stuff, and then you want to move to the IPO. Okay, what's the company about? Please give us a short overview.
So the company is a resource company doing exploration, development, and construction of mines. We are into both base metal and precious metals. And our first project that we're currently working on is a porphyry deposit in Arizona.
In Arizona, in the heart of America.
Yes.
Lovely. I've been in Arizona once.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, great. Porphyry, that sounds like copper.
It has copper, it has moly, it has gold and silver.
Oh, okay, great. So what can you say about a project? How much work have you done so far, 2019?
So in 2019, what we did essentially, when we assumed because it was an old operation that was mined by Asako, we wanted to go and confirm the deposits. So there are a number of deposits in that district. And we are sitting on the northeastern end of the district. And so we wanted to confirm that. So we put in 2 holes for confirmation. And they matched exactly our expectation in terms of the geologic contacts, in terms of the grade that we expected underground. And we contacted everything that we expected to see.
Fantastic.
In the core. And besides that, we drilled on the waste pad because we knew that the cutoff that they used on account of the metal price at the time in the early 80s was quite low, and so the cutoff was high. So we drilled on the waste pad, and that also shows so much value that is near term.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So that was like an old mine, but you say it's a waste pad, yeah?
Yes.
So what they have thrown away, probably you can process in the future.
That is correct.
Okay, fantastic. Do you have the historical drill core data, all that stuff? You have that?
We do have all that.
Fantastic.
And you know, some of these old miners did the right things. I used to work for an old company as well. I worked at a Boise mine in Ghana that had been operating for over 100 years, and records are kept well. So at this mine, the core shack was very organized. You can find the core you want. You can find it well labeled. All the assays are there. All the pulps are there. Certificates are there. And so we were able to organize all that back. However, there are about 80 of those holes that we're going to relog and reassay ourselves. And those are going to go into our resource estimate, which will be publishing in Q2 next year.
Okay, so you are working already on a real resource 43-101.
That is correct.
Estimate, that means like to fulfill current standards and norms.
That is correct.
Okay, and you said Q2 next year?
Q2 next year.
Okay, fantastic. So how much more work do you have to do, let's say, the next 4, 5, 6 months for that?
Yes. Yeah. So the next 2 months, so by December, we'll start drilling again. And we'll be putting in 9, 7, 5, about 21 holes. And our objective there is to help expand. So we'll do a bit of a step out and an infill on the east side. We'll be touching on the southwest also. There's a deposit called Paxalia. We want to bring that into inferred category as well. So there will be additional drilling that we're going to do on the property, besides the relogging and reassay of the old core. And then other things that we're going to do, which we have already started, is to build a resource model and then end up doing some initial preliminary economic assessment of the project.
Fantastic.
And all that is going to happen between now and mid-year next year.
Wow, that's really fast, I would say.
That is correct.
So how many meters do you think you are drilling altogether? Approximately.
Approximately about 30,000.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. That leads directly to my next question. That costs money. What's in the bank?
So we are now raising money for the project. So that's why we are at the conference.
Okay, good. That makes sense. So how much you want to raise?
We want to raise, in the interim, we're raising 3 million. But we'll also be raising another 12 million on the back of it.
Okay.
And yes. So that would be part of all the work that is required to happen between now
Yeah.
and then mid-year next year.
So that would mean that you're well cashed up also for PEA
That is
status
correct.
and all that stuff.
That's correct.
Okay, super. So who are largest shareholders? What has management skin in the game, as we call it? Yeah.
So management has, and I'll call them insiders. It's not
Yeah.
only management and the board has about 65%.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
That's
it's
significant.
your personal money, I hope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was not given for Christmas.
No
good.
Christmas.
Yeah. Okay.
So management has significant interest, and we have some strategic partners as well. So the institutions have about 17%, and the rest is friends and others that are involved in this.
Yeah,
so at this point, it's all private.
Fantastic. So it's like a family business by now, I would call it. Yeah. Okay. When could you imagine to IPO? When would it make sense for you?
So strategically, there are some catalysts for us, and one of those is the resource, because everything that we identified as historic, we want to put our stamp on it, and putting our stamp on it is to say, okay, our own estimate says X, and that is what we're going to. So that will be a major trigger for us to go public.
Yeah.
And so that is one option for us. And then another major trigger for us is when we put out the preliminary economic assessment.
Fantastic. So we could imagine like maybe summer next year. There's a good possibility.
That's correct.
And where would you IPO? Would it be like Toronto or combined with the US? How would it work?
We will initially start from the Toronto Stock Exchange. Yes.
Fantastic. Great. So if I get you right, the idea, let's say, of the founding shareholders and of you guys and your strategic partners is probably to bring that then later on in production?
That is correct. So strategically, we would continue to do all that it takes. We are going through the PEA now. We'll do a preliminary feasibility studies, and then we'll take it to feasibility. So do all that and set the projects up for construction. They are separate projects. So we'll set them all up for construction.
Yeah, fantastic. Wow, sounds like a compelling game plan, I would call it.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. We look forward to hear more from you.
Thank you.
And I'm pretty sure we'll see us at PDIC.
Yes, please.
Super.
I'll be there.
Great. John, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it was John Antwi, the CEO of Elim Mining. And you heard that the company is still private, so you cannot directly buy into it. But hopefully by summer next year, they will be IPOing at the Toronto Exchange. And yeah, it looks like they have a very sound plan, 30,000 meters of drilling for next year already. This is approximately the length what he said. And the company has cash so far, but they are now in the mode of financing, and I'm pretty sure they get it because they have 65% is still with insiders and management. This is highly appreciated because they have put their own money first on the table before they ask others for money. That's what we like to see. We look forward for the 30,000 meters drill results, hopefully good, and I could imagine they will be good because Arizona is also elephant territory. And yeah, check out the company. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Zurich.